Hi everyone, I'm here with Andrew Miles from TrueIP. Andrew, can you tell us a bit about TrueIP?
Yes, so TrueIP is a team of Australian IP experts providing insights of a service on invention, knowledge, patent and non-patent data. We're ex-Tier 1 patent attorney firm.
So Andrew, how do you help R&D tax claimants reduce their risk?
So what we've done is, with demand from the industry, specifically from the accounting sphere, we have worked with them and one of the regulators, AusIndustry, in producing an R&D tax knowledge report. This knowledge report is modelled against the R&D tax, the AusIndustry's record keeping and R&D planning guidance material. So what it does, in essence, is that we know that one of the key requirements for claiming an R&D activity is that you must prove that there is a technical unknown, and that the R&D claimant must go through a systematic, investigative and experimental process to come up with identifying whether there is new knowledge out in the industry, and that a competent expert had to go through this process without a defined or known experimental in place. So what we do is we look initially from the process in that we identify all the patent information that's out there in the marketplace, identifying whether there is proprietary or cluster analysis done in regards to patent material. Then we look at, once that's identified, we then look at the non-patent data, which is going through academic libraries. We go through journal articles. We look at scientific review sites and trade journals, really trying to identify from the perspective in that, is this new knowledge freely available in the marketplace? So for an R&D tax claimant, they've got a report there to say, hey, we've done this searching, we put in reasonable steps to mitigate the risk. Here's a copy of our report.
Excellent. I can see how that's going to really help people do their R&D on a sure footing, Andrew.
And how does this fit in with what you do, George?
So I help claimants improve their record keeping through my 6-step R&D tax framework, which is a series of workshops that establishes a full R&D manual for the business, thus making the record keeping integrated into their day-to-day R&D processes. So I can see how making sure and that the eligibility is properly assessed, which is what you're doing, really ties in to having the right records in place to make sure that you can really support your R&D tax claim should you be audited. And with so many audits being undertaken at the moment, and now that we're out of COVID, that'll be stepped up, we can really see the need to get this under control. And I really like the fact that people can get their substantiated eligibility put aside based on the state of play at the time when they were doing the R&D. So 5 years down the track, when you get audited, you can really hone in and go back to that documentation that you've provided to make sure that you're being assessed against the state of play at the time when you did the R&D. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's correct. And that's one of the key outputs that the report provides, because when you do get an assessment from an AusIndustry assessor, they usually assess, 4 to 5 to 6 years ago. And because they're so reactive, what our report does is it says, well, yes, the new knowledge may be available today. Yep. However, 5 or 6 years ago, it wasn't available. And here's the evidentiary trail.
Perfect. So as I mentioned to you, Andrew, anyone interested in my R&D tax framework, they can grab that ebook from the website. They can also take an R&D self-audit on my website to see how they're going. One of the questions that I ask is, how did you substantiate your R&D, your eligibility, which is where you fit in. That's fantastic. So Andrew, where can people find out more about what you do?
The best way is to go to our website, which is www.trueip.com.au, or you can send me an email, which is andrewm@trueip, all one word, .com.au.
Fantastic. Andrew, thanks for your time today. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk us through what you do, and we look forward to working together into the future.
Terrific. Thank you very much, George, and thank you for the opportunity.